Luna stared at the cardboard box on her desk. 5 years of work, 5 years of late nights and successful campaigns, all reduced to a small brown box. Her hands trembled as she placed her coffee mug inside, the one that said Marketing Queen that her team had given her last Christmas. How quickly things change. Marcus, we need you to understand this isn't personal. Marcus Chen, the new chief marketing officer, stood in the doorway with his arms crossed. He was 32, fresh from Silicon Valley, wearing a black turtleneck like he was the next Steve Jobs. He'd been at Apex Solutions for exactly 3 months. Luna had been there for 5 years. Not personal? Luna's voice was steady, but inside she was screaming. Marcus, I brought in the Henderson account. I created the campaign that increased our revenue by 40% last quarter. How is this not personal? Marcus sighed, like he was explaining something simple to a child. Look, the market is changing. We need fresh perspectives, younger voices. No offense, but your approach is a bit outdated. We can get someone half your age who thinks like our target audience, someone who gets TikTok, understands Gen Z. Luna was 34 years old. 34! And he was talking about her like she was a relic from another century. I've been studying every new platform. I took courses on digital trends. It's not about courses, Luna. Marcus cut her off with a wave of his hand. It's about instinct, natural understanding. You're good at what you do, don't get me wrong, but you're replaceable. We all are. That's just business. Replaceable. That word echoed in her mind as she walked out of the building for the last time, her box of belongings clutched against her chest. The security guard, old Tom, who always asked about her dog, looked away as she passed. Even he couldn't meet her eyes. That night, Luna sat in her apartment, staring at her laptop screen. Her severance package was decent, but it wasn't about the money. It was about the feeling of being thrown away like yesterday's newspaper. She opened her email and saw the automated message from HR confirming her termination. Below it was an email from Sarah Mitchell, the CEO of Vertex Marketing, one of Apex Solutions' biggest competitors. Luna, I heard the news. If you're interested in exploring meal opportunities, let's talk. What they lost is our gain. Luna's finger hovered over the reply button. Pride told her to take a few days to make them wait, but something else, something stronger, pushed her to respond immediately. She typed, I'm very interested. When can we meet? The next morning, Luna sat across from Sarah Mitchell in a sleek conference room overlooking the city. Sarah was in her 50s, elegant, with silver hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. I'll be direct with you, Luna. I've been watching your work for years. The Henderson campaign was brilliant. The way you positioned their outdated product for a new generation without losing their core customer base, that's not something you learn in a course. That's talent. Luna felt something she hadn't felt in months. Valued. I'm offering you the position of Senior Marketing Director. You'll have your own team, creative freedom, and a salary that reflects your actual worth, not what some kid in a turtleneck thinks you deserve. Luna didn't hesitate. I accept. The first 3 months at Vertex were intense. Luna threw herself into work with a fire she didn't know she still had. She wasn't just proving Marcus wrong anymore. She was proving something to herself, that she wasn't replaceable, that experience combined with adaptability was more powerful than youth alone. Her first major project was rebranding Vertex's oldest client, Thomson Electronics. They were losing market share to younger, cooler brands. Luna assembled her team, a mix of seasoned professionals and fresh graduates. She listened to everyone, learned from the young minds about new platforms, but guided them with the strategic thinking that only came from years of experience. We're not trying to be young, we're trying to be timeless. There's a difference. The campaign launched 3 months after she joined Vertex. It was called Built to Last, and it positioned Thomson Electronics not as an old company trying to be hip, but as a trusted brand that evolved with the times while maintaining quality. The commercials featured real customers across generations. The social media strategy was sophisticated yet accessible, and the results were immediate. Sales increased by 65% in the first quarter. Industry magazines called it the comeback of the year. Luna's name was suddenly everywhere, featured in Marketing Weekly, invited to speak at conferences. But the sweetest moment came 6 months after she'd been fired. Luna was in her office when her assistant buzzed. "Luna, there's someone from Apex Solutions here to see you. Marcus Chen?" Luna's heart skipped a beat. She took a deep breath and said, "Send him in." Marcus walked in looking different than she remembered. The confident swagger was gone. He looked tired, stressed. There were dark circles under his eyes. "Luna, thank you for seeing me." "Have a seat, Marcus." Luna gestured to the chair across from her desk. She didn't offer coffee. She didn't offer anything. Marcus sat down, fidgeting with his watch. "I'll get straight to the point. Apex is struggling. After you left, we lost 3 major accounts. The campaigns we've launched have been unsuccessful. Our revenue is down 30%. The board is asking questions." Luna remained silent, her face neutral. "I made a mistake." The words seemed to physically hurt him. "I thought youth and trend awareness were enough. I was wrong. You had something I didn't value properly: experience, strategy, the ability to connect with multiple generations, not just one. I see that now." "Why are you here, Marcus?" "We want you to come back as director of marketing, full creative control, 20% salary increase from what you were making before, stock options, whatever you need." Luna leaned back in her chair. A year ago, she would have dreamed of this moment, the vindication, the apology, the chance to return triumphant. But now, sitting in her office at Vertex, with a team that respected her and a CEO who valued her, she felt something unexpected. Not anger, not even satisfaction, just clarity. "Marcus, do you remember what you said to me? That I was replaceable?" Marcus nodded, looking down. "I do, and I was wrong." "No." Luna's voice was firm. "You were right. Everyone is replaceable in business. But here's what you didn't understand. Being replaceable doesn't mean being worthless. It doesn't mean someone can do your job better. It just means there's always someone else who can sit in your chair. The question is, what happens to the company after they replace you?" Marcus didn't respond. He didn't need to. They both knew the answer. "I'm not coming back, Marcus. Not because I'm angry, not because I want revenge, but because I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You taught me something valuable. You taught me that my worth isn't determined by whether someone keeps me or fires me. It's determined by what I do after." Marcus stood up slowly. "I understand. For what it's worth, I'm sorry, not just for Apex, but for how I treated you. You deserved better." "Yes, I did. Thank you for saying that." After Marcus left, Luna sat in silence for a moment. Then she opened her laptop and pulled up the presentation for her next campaign. Vertex had just signed their biggest client yet, a global tech company looking to rebrand for the next decade. It was the kind of project that defined careers. Her phone buzzed. It was a text from her team lead, Jamie, one of the young marketers she'd mentored. "Boss, just heard Apex came crawling back. Did you send them packing?" Luna typed back, "Something like that. Now let's focus on making our next campaign even better than the last." That evening, Luna attended an award ceremony. Vertex's Thomson Electronics campaign was nominated for Campaign of the Year. When they announced the winner and called Luna's name, she walked to the stage with her head held high. Looking out at the audience, she saw familiar faces, colleagues, competitors, former teammates from Apex. And in the back, she saw Marcus, who had stayed for the ceremony. Their eyes met briefly, and he nodded. Not a nod of defeat, but of acknowledgement, of understanding. Luna held the award and spoke into the microphone. "This award belongs to my entire team at Vertex, but I want to say something to everyone here, especially to those who've ever been told they're replaceable. You are replaceable. Your job, your position, your chair can be filled by someone else. But your unique combination of skills, experience, perspective, and passion, that's Irreplaceable. Don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise. When someone doesn't see your value, don't waste energy proving them wrong. Spend that energy finding someone who already knows what you're worth. Thank you. The applause was thunderous. 3 months later, Luna received another email from Apex Solutions, but this time it wasn't from Marcus. It was from the CEO, offering her the position of Chief Marketing Officer. Marcus had been let go. The position came with an enormous salary, equity, and the keys to rebuild the entire marketing division. Luna read the email twice. Then she closed her laptop and looked around her office at Vertex. Photos of her team, awards on the wall, sticky notes with creative ideas scattered across her whiteboard. She thought about Sarah Mitchell, who had taken a chance on her when she was broken. She thought about the team she'd built, the young professionals she was mentoring, the culture of respect and collaboration they'd created together. She picked up her phone and called Sarah. Sarah, I just received an offer from Apex Solutions, CMO position. It's a significant offer. There was a pause on the other end. Then Sarah said, What are you thinking? I'm thinking that a year ago, I would have seen this as the ultimate victory, returning to the place that fired me as the boss. But now I see it differently. They didn't value me when they had me. Why would I want to go back to a place where I had to prove my worth after they threw it away? Sarah laughed, a warm, genuine sound. Luna, that's exactly why you're irreplaceable here. So what's your answer going to be? I'm staying at Vertex. This is home. Good, because I was about to offer you VP of Marketing. We're expanding into 3 new markets, and I need someone I trust to lead the charge. Luna smiled. I accept. That night, Luna wrote a simple, professional email declining Apex's offer. She didn't gloat, she didn't lecture, she simply thanked them for the opportunity and wished them well in finding the right person for the role. As she hit send, she felt a weight lift from her shoulders. Not the weight of anger or resentment, she'd let that go months ago. This was different. This was the weight of needing external validation, of measuring her success by the opinions of people who didn't appreciate her. Luna looked at her reflection in the dark window of her office. The same woman who had carried that cardboard box out of Apex Solutions a year ago, but somehow completely different. Stronger, wiser, unshakable. Her phone buzzed with a message from Jamie. Team dinner tomorrow to celebrate the new VP? We're buying. She typed back, only if we go to that taco place you've been raving about. Deal? Deal. The boss has great taste. Luna laughed out loud in her empty office. She wasn't a boss. She wasn't replaceable or irreplaceable. She was simply Luna, a damn good marketer who had learned that her value didn't come from someone else's recognition. It came from her own work, her own growth, and her own refusal to let anyone else define her worth. She packed up her laptop, turned off the lights, and walked out of the office. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new campaigns, new opportunities. But tonight, she was going home to her apartment, to her dog, to a glass of wine, and a good book. And for the first time in a long time, she felt completely at peace. Because the truth was, being fired from Apex Solutions wasn't the end of her story. It was just the beginning of a much better chapter, one where she didn't need them to regret losing her. She just needed to keep being the person she was always capable of becoming. Replaceable? Maybe, in someone's mind, but irreplaceable in the ways that truly mattered. And that was enough.